Okay, hello everyone. This is Venividivici here. I'm about to bring you another game for the PK tournament. What we have here is a Nevur versus BanyBoy. They started the match a little bit earlier than expected, so unfortunately I tuned in just now. The current score is
earlier than expected, so unfortunately I tuned in.
The current score between them is 1-1. The first game was Iroquois versus Ottomans on Great Plains, which Nevur won. The second game was an Ottoman mirror on Saguenay, which BanyBoy won. And now we have the third game on Siberia, the decisive game. Whoever wins this will advance to the next round, that is the round of 32. We are now currently playing the round of 64. Round of 32 of course will be BO5, but it still is a BO3. The matchup is gonna be Nevur playing French versus BanyBoy playing Dutch. This is not too unbalanced matchup, but the thing is that it is always very hard for the Dutch guy to win a French player, because basically the French guy can go for good economy if he scouts well. Of course he starts with the market first, that's very standard. I went over this a couple of times in previous videos. You just get more economy in total. We see that Nevur is going to pick up 90 wood over here. Maybe a little bit of mismicro with the hero, because usually you don't need to lose that much HP. Anyway, what you often see here is, for example, the Dutch guy going for 3 banks and then going to third, or going for 4 banks and then to third. The problem is that if you go for 3 banks and then to third, you're relatively safe. You can also make a few units, for example some hussars or pikemen, to defend your base versus raids. On the other hand, it means that the French probably has a better economy, even though you will age up a little bit faster. Another option is to go for a 4 bank, perhaps with a few raids, and then going third. But that means that you will be a little bit slower, weaker versus anything coming from the French guy, for example some raids or maybe a little bit of a musketeer push added as well. And you still have about the same economy as the French guy, because usually in a third age both of these civilizations are able to pressure each other a lot. And that means that you won't be able to add another bank very easily. And in the meantime, the French guy, while you add the banks in the second age, is able to do the market upgrades that he needs to do. That is for sure the second food upgrade, but probably also at some point the second gold upgrade. And that means that he has he has just his standard villages which gather faster, and a very easy economy going there. While you of course have the 4 banks and only make 1 normal villager at a time. So it is very difficult. Scouting is very important for both players here. If you see some kind of weird rush from the French coming in, which I don't expect from Nevur here, but then you have to play accordingly. For example, add some more skirmishes if it's a pike or musketeer rush. What we likely see is Nevur just going for a stable here and raiding a little bit, perhaps adding already 2 rexes or 1 rex and a trading post, and then adding some musketeers, for example if the Dutch guy ships his pikemen. And then I predict that both will just age up to the third age, and then we have to see if it's going to be a 3 or 4 bank for the Dutch guy. The 4 bank is still, like I said, a very good economy. It's like a little bit ahead of the French, perhaps, or just equal. The 3 banks, that means that you will age up faster, but you have to do a lot of damage early on, or at least some damage, because otherwise you're just behind on economy. We see that the Dutch guy was aging up, gathering the wood for the bank, making the bank over here all pretty standard. Of course Siberia, it means both players start up with an additional tower. It spawns for free, and it is protecting your gold mine. We see that both have their tower in the back, so that's also equal. Regarding mines, it's pretty equal as well. French has 1 mine in addition, close to his town center. If you look at those 4 herds, we see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, so the French has 1 less herd. It means he will have to go further on the map later on, but still he has 3 herds available for now, so that's all okay. Then Nevur ages up as well. Of course Dutch ages a little bit faster. We see a stable coming up. That means he will go for some hussars to raid, and perhaps only a few to just protect from raids. Of course with the tower, town center and the tower, you also have a pretty good defense, meaning that you would usually need like 1 hussar less to defend versus any hussar raid. He's trying to take out the hero with his town center fire, but he's not gonna succeed in that. Oh, we see something interesting coming up from Nevur. Anyway, it is 1-1. He is deciding to mix it up. What will we have here? Nothing is gathering gold, except one villager for an upgrade perhaps. So this probably is gonna be then some kind of X-bow pike rush. So far BanyBoy hasn't scouted this yet. You see that Nevur posted here with his hero to make sure that he kept BanyBoy a little bit busy, and also to see if there was any scout coming closer. But now that we see BanyBoy scouted this, the 2 Rexes. We have 700 wood shipment coming at the tower. He probably used his shipment point at the tower because he wanted to have his villagers on this herd over here. So now he's only gathering the wood with 1 villager. That is not what he should do. We see that he has 2, 4, 6, 7 pikemen. That should be 10 on the first batch, in fact. He is gonna siege a house. Losing 1 house is not the biggest problem for Dutch, however he can pop out Minutemen of course if he likes to. But he can ship 700 wood afterwards still. Anyway, he's going for the villages there of the front base from Nevur, very smart move. But new pikemen coming out, so these hussars should definitely pull back. Go, come on. There they go. A little bit of a late response, but you sometimes just predict or expect Expo-men popping out after the pikemen, but in this case Nevur went to go for a full pikeman rush. Of course he scouted the stable, so that means that he knows Expo-men, crossbowmen are not that useful at this point. So he just goes for pikemen. And of course in melee mode they do pretty decent versus Minutemen also. What BanyBoy is trying to do is move his Minutemen back, so they will keep fighting in range mode. As you see, range mode is a lot more damage, twice as much as hand attack. These hussars should definitely raid. This is the wrong path to take, because now Nevur will know that the raid is coming in because this is in the line of sight of his barracks. He should go more around like this. But anyway, they go for a raid. Let's see what they get done. These villagers should actually just be gathering this wood over here because it's closer. I'm not sure why they are gathering so far. And he should try to keep herding this towards his tower so he has an easy point to go back. There we see a house coming up for line of sight. That's the way that BanyBoy will gonna go for a raid anyway. And another house is going down, but BanyBoy shipped the 700 wood. He also added a Rex, so we have skirmishes popping out soon, I expect, to deal with these pikemen. Minutemen already used, of course, not the most effective use there, but they were used. And now he's gonna lose another house here and 1 more for sure here. Even if the skirmishes will pop out, he'll probably siege some more because housing the Dutch guy is good in this case. We see that he's now popping popping up near the front base to kill these coureurs de bois, and he is able to get 2 of them. Very nice move there. Of course, if your opponent is spamming units, keep an eye on your hussars. If your opponent is spamming units from your Rex every now and then, like you can basically like count it out how many circles of units he makes, how many production, and thus how many idle time he has in his barracks. You can just pop in like he did and take out the forward villagers before any new units spawn out to kill you. Timing comes very precise, so it's not that easy. But 600 wood popping up now, coming from the town center. That's of course he needs to ship that because he lost a lot of houses. He is still on the 2 bank economy, but of course, because the French went for this strategy, I believe he hasn't the best economy yet, because he probably used, as you see here, 700 and 600 wood shipments, and not the 4 villager shipment yet. Oh, wait a second, I think he did use the 4 villager shipment here, but at the same time he also lost his 2 villagers, so that balances it out. But anyway, he first uses the wood, the crate shipments, so he has a little bit of a later economy. Still, he's ahead, but this is of course also part of the because of the crates. Ray trying to come in there. He's now gonna mix some crossbowmen. I don't like it that much because eventually, when you have skirmishes, especially when you have like tank skirmishes, you will be able to just kite back first this army because you have more range. So Nevur should be adding a stable. That's what he's doing now. Shipping 8 crossbowmen as well from his home city, gathering gold. Maybe he saw that he was gathering gold with 1 villager, so maybe he was able to sneak in steel traps while going for this forward pressure here. If that's the case, then definitely his economy would be very good still. We see that he now found out about this raid because he had this line of sight with the house, very well placed. He's just gonna bring his villagers closer towards his town center, so it won't be a problem. And the 8 crossbowmen are now gonna go to the forward, to the frontal lines, and the hussars are gonna deal with this raid. We have a 3rd bank coming up from BanyBoy. I believe he made one with the 700 wood first. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a bandwagon. I'm not sure if I think it was the bandwagon in fact, because he shipped 700 wood after, I believe. So he has 3 bank economy still. That's okay. We see that this raid is barely not gonna get caught. I've explained before that it's not needed to catch a 2 hussar raid with all your hussars. You can just send like 2 or 3 max if you're not sure about your micro and catch it, and the other one should be used in battle. There he's trying to poke in again for another raid, but I'm not sure why, because he knows he killed the villagers here, so it's not the most useful spot to raid. Of course, herding the villagers, also the deers also towards his town center, and soon we will have a next push coming from Nevur. That's about now, and it's going to be a push that will be hard for BanyBoy to deal with. He has not, yeah, he does have the Minuteman card, so that's something that he might use to be able to push this back. But he of course already used his first Minuteman. Tower is in the back, so it won't help that much. Maybe that's also why Nevur decided to go for a strategy like this. There we see he's trying to pick off any hussar HP that he can so far, but now he will have to micro on the pikemen soon, because they are the problem for his hussars. Very micro intensive here for BanyBoy. Nevur doesn't want to push in too much, however I think he just can, because if he lets the pikemen siege, or even if he brings the pikemen and the hussars both close, then the hussars of BanyBoy can't block the hussars anymore from the skirmishers, because the pikemen will just destroy the hussars. So maybe he's gonna pop out a pike shipment from himself anytime soon. We'll have to see about that. Anyway, villagers in the town center now, 90 damage of course. Here's what you see. He's gonna use his hussars to block the hussars of Nevur, but this means that the pikemen will also be able to kill the hussars, as you see here. He managed to age up, so we have Reuter etc. coming out soon. He is however using all his skirmishes on only one target, I believe, on one pikeman. That's not the best micro. You should preferably split this up, because you don't need like 8 skirmishes to kill one pikeman. Tower should be focused at hussars if he can do so. And if we take a look at the HP, we see a lot of low HP units, but still quite a lot of units left. However, he still has 3 banks available, and he is in the 3rd age, while Nevur is just decided to keep spamming and keep producing units to probably keep overwhelming, and as you see here, housing the Dutch guy, so he won't be able to make or ship many more units. He only has 2 houses left soon. Maybe there's 1 shipment coming, but after that, yeah, he makes 5 Reuter, trying to deal with this hussars over there, but he has now another house down, and they are getting trapped here. There we have a 9 Reuter shipment. Able to deal with this hussars pretty decent. He's now taking out a tower, of course. That's the... I would actually go for the house first, but tower is doing damage, so that's a okay decision. He's now trying to deal with the crossmen with the Reuter. And what you should do is just move close to them, because then the crossmen won't be able to do damage, and then your Reuter will deal with them more effectively. And if you're trying to see where the villagers went, but they went back the other side. And he is able to clean this up for now, BanyBoy that is, but he lost a lot. So he has still to recover from this. Also, he has no market, so all this excess gold that he has with the banks, he can't convert it yet into houses or food or whatever he needs. He should definitely move these, because pikemen in melee mode of course do very good versus Reuter with the low HP. The villagers should also just try to run. Anyway, Nevur for now stopped making units. I think he decides he did enough damage. He decided he did enough damage and is gonna age up. There we go, he aged up himself. And it's gonna be a very rough fight for BanyBoy now, because Nevur has a very good economy. He's gonna lose 1 more villager, I think. Pikemen are trying to go for the Reuter here, while the hussars take down the villager. He's now gathering wood with all his villagers, because he definitely needs to get houses soon. Trying to micro is good versus the pikemen, trying to not take any damage, of course, using your range, and take out the low HP ones first. So he should take out the right one. Still not over yet, but if you take a look here, village count 19 versus 32. Of course, he has 3 banks, so the resources are okay-ish, but he has to he had to hide a lot inside his town center, so the resource line is not the best for him either. I don't like that he's getting berries here, because this food is not that far, and you saw that the other guy just aged up, so you don't really need to go for berries now, you can just go here. He decides to add a new Rex here. Of course he lost his Rex already before also. He is currently on 1, 2, 3, 4 T population, so that's okay for now. And basically Nevur has the better infrastructure so far, because he is able to spam skirmishes from 2 Rexes, while BanyBoy has just now remade his Rex, so he definitely will ship 8 skirmishes I think as a next card, but this is going to be a tough spot for him again. And there we have also the 8 skirmisher shipment from Nevur. Sieging or finishing sieging the stables here. I believe he brought back his hero, as you see over here. He has coin available. I'm not sure how much coin he has in excess, because all these banks of course producing a lot of coin. I would prefer to see some of these warriors in melee mode here. And actually it might be a good idea for him to just build a market if he can, and trade the coin into food or something like that to be able to spam more units. Anyway, town center still doing 90 damage. He is trying to fight this off, but this will be a very hard battle still, because of course just Reuter doesn't work versus a lot of skirmisher and dragoons. I think he's just waiting for his 8 skirmisher shipment. You have one Reuter popping up right before the stable goes down. Immediately gonna be gunned down, as you see over there. And now we have no more Reuters, and that means that Nevur will probably gonna mix in some crochets as well, either making 5 or shipping some, because he knows that there are only these Reuters available at the moment and no others. On the other hand, of course, BanyBoy can ship Reuters, but he has enough skirmishes to deal with it. There we see the Goon we put in melee mode here, of course. That means it's very hard for the skirmishers to fight them off. As you see here, if you don't micro the skirmishers manually on, for example, these skirmishers, they will automatically go in melee mode first dragoons. As you know, skirmishers do 7 attack, not going to kill a dragoon with 240 HP there. Actually it's 7 times 2, 14 attack, but still. A lot of skirmishes, there's an overwhelming mess here, and this game is won by Nevur. So good game. Interesting to see that Nevur went for this crossbow and pikeman rush. I believe that he went for the slightly more economic variation, probably had the one villager on the coin there to just do steel traps or something like that earlier, and he had 7 pikemen out instead of just like 10, maybe because of that reason. He probably just wanted to put on some pressure, not per se going for the like all-in-ish, or well, it's not all-in, but more like sacrificing a lot of economy. He doesn't want to go for that way. He scouted the stable only, so he knows that for early on he has enough pikemen to deal with it and to destroy the houses. You don't need per se 10-10. So I think a good decision from him there. It is a risky option still, because if BanyBoy scouted this a little bit earlier, or even scouted here, for example, seeing all the wood gathering and food gathering and nothing in gold, then he probably would have started with a barracks, and that would just mean that he would be able to deal with the skirmishes and the rush would kind of fail, because even popping out crossbowmen would be hard to deal with the skirmishes, because you need an overwhelming mass to charge in, and if he makes like 5, 10, 15 skirmishers, he can just cut you back for a long time. Of course, French then does have the 3 hussar shipment available, but BanyBoy also has 8 pikemen, 3 hussar, minutemen, town center, etc. So scouting very important in a strategy game. Maybe cost him the game here, because otherwise I think the Dutch would be able to adapt to it decently with a Rex first and then a stable after. So Nevur wins it 2-1, sorry. I believe this was also a game for the betting system, and I believe that most people bet on Nevur, so good congrats to him to win this game. And I think I also bet on him. Also a last moment bet for some people, betting 2-1 on Nevur. I think that was a very smart decision here, as you see that he won 2-1 instead of 2-0. So, and that probably concludes the bets for the round of 64, I believe. So we have to wait for Goodspeed to make up new bets for the round of 32. And this also concludes the match so far, because I'm not sure if there will be another match soon. We have Tombo playing 3, 5, 2, 7, 9, 8, I believe, without the 3. and they should play somewhere later. He is not online. I believe Tombo and him have to play later. We also have Heroes versus Fish coming up later, and then we have a few other matches coming up as well. Depending on, I will be able to cast till like 17 hours my time, and then I have to go. So what we have left, Yumi Sporting Lisbon is gonna be played later tonight. I'm probably not gonna cast. Takuman is probably gonna have a relatively easy win, so not that interesting. This has not been scheduled yet. This is now played. Master Killer Starsky, I also don't know anything about it. Tombo versus just what I explained here is also. So Grey Fox versus Road of Hope may be coming up somewhere later, but I'm not sure when that will come up. So I will now be closing this stream, and if there's another stream, another tourney game coming up, or when I'm finished with my work and stream another team game, I will turn on the stream again. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.